Hello everybody, welcome to the GBA D-League Game of the Week for Week 3. This will be a double header this week. Chris has told me that John and Cooper will also be doing the game between the Cleveland Slow Bros and the Anaheim Mighty Ducklets. So this week I have with me Tom Z1272, aka owner of the San Jose Sharpedos.
What's up, guys?
Yes, very, very enthusiastic of you.
Keeping it simple. Keep it rolling.
That's good. I like it. Succinct. So, this week, though, we have Mewcastle United versus Cresstal Palace. 2-0-2 teams, so both of these teams are trying to get on the winning track. A bit of a bumpy start to get things rolling, but somebody's going to end up with a victory, so we'll see. If
Battle of the Brits.
We'll see who it is. Yeah, Battle of the Brits. That's right. Those limey Brits going to be playing their soccer game or whatever. Or would it be football?
A football game.
Yeah, football.
Let's get it right here.
Or you fucking Yanks in your goddamn American football. But,
Don't know fucking soccer.
So we might as well go ahead and... Oh yeah, one more announcement. Frank Trode has dropped out of the D-League. He had too many obligations going on outside of this. So he has been replaced with DS Reaver, aka Gary, and the team will now be called the Detroit Lux Rays. So that is a massive change. We're sad to see Frank go, but hopefully all of you can welcome Gary. We will be linking his channel in the description below as well, and hopefully he gets featured later on in the season as the Detroit Lux Rays. So now we can go ahead and bring up the team previews. So looking at it, I think both teams are definitely matched up well against each other. I really think the early game is going to define how this match ends up. What are your thoughts on that?
Looking at it, I guess Rotom is a solid check. I guess you can call it the Talonflame. Escavalier. Excadrill is pretty much checked by Skarmory, unless it's like Bandit or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, the Aromatisse is certainly kind of strange, depending on the set. I'm curious if, Sharpedo could take it, or, yeah, that's probably the only real anomaly I'm looking at.
Yeah, I never agreed with the Aromatisse draft pick, but, it can do some nice things. It's just much more common down in lower tiers. It's definitely not seen in OU at all because it's just outclassed by the likes of Sylveon and Togekiss and Clefable and all those things. But it can sponge special hits. It can really take hits on both sides. It just takes them much better on the special side.
Yeah, but I think Fufu might have. I mean, I'm not sure you always account for something like Aromatisse, but it looks like his team is a little bit more physical, or at least better apt to take on Fairy type than I guess John had planned.
Well, yeah, unless I think he techs like HP Fire onto Aromatisse, it really can't touch Skarmory. And then you have Mega Pinsir, who after one Swords Dance will probably be one-shotting the majority of John's team anyway. And then,
I'm thinking GBA. I was like, oh, is that a regular Pinsir? Who drafted regular Pinsir?
Yeah, that's Mega Pinsir. To clarify, that's Mega Pinsir, and John Origins has Mega Houndoom. So those are their two megas. But Roserade can also handle Aromatisse pretty well, and it handles Azumarill very well. Azumarill really has a tough time breaking through Roserade if it has to come down to like a one-on-one situation. You do have to be a bit careful switching Roserade into Azumarill because a knockoff is going to deal massive amounts of damage to Roserade. But all in all, I think the matchup is kind of split. I really do think it's going to come down to, I think on Sam's side, if he lets Rotom Heat go down before he can remove Talonflame or at least deal a large chunk of damage to it, because he really has nothing else that really can deal with it after that point.
Yeah, because I think Sharpedo has to get 1 or 2 speed boosts to out prioritize a Brave Bird.
And that's only if it's running Aqua Jet. If he's not even running Aqua Jet on Sharpedo, then it's not even gonna have a chance. And it will definitely go down to a Brave Bird. I think there's very few Talonflame sets that don't have the power to one-shot the paper-thin defenses of Sharpedo.
And then obviously if Brave Bird out-prioritizes Mega Pinsir Quick Attack. So.
Yeah, always, because Mega Pinsir I don't think has any way to boost speed on its own, right? I don't think it gets agility or anything. Yeah, I would have ran agility if it got it.
Oh, yes, you would have.
That would have been awesome, but it does not get that, sadly. I don't really think it needs much else than what it has.
Pretty sure it hits. It's fast enough and it hits.
Yeah.
Certainly hard enough.
Yeah, but I definitely think Sam's win condition is looking like maybe Sharpedo if he can get rid of Azumarill and Aromatisse beforehand. Nothing else after that is really going to deal with it too well. Like we said, Talonflame kind of can, but it can't really switch in on it. So
yeah.
And then for John, his win condition definitely looks like Talonflame. If he gets rid of that Rotom Heat, Sam's team really struggles to deal with Talonflame, but that's why he has Rotom Heat, because it really could be called a counter to most Talonflames. There's very few Talonflames that could deal with Rotom Heat in any capacity. I don't even think like HP Rock is going to deal that much damage, or HP Water, and I think that's probably the best bet it has. Like a +2 Brave Bird will hurt, but all that recoil and then an electric attack will easily dispatch Talonflame. So
yep.
But should be an interesting game, so we're going to go ahead and reset this and set battle speed to normal and play. This will be on Showdown this week, so sorry to all you Wi-Fi lovers, but we're going to start the game right now. So we see the Azumarill lead from John and Rotom Heat from Sam, and Sam's just going to switch out right away to the Roserade. He got kind of lucky that he didn't get knocked off there, but we see Jirachi coming on Roserade now, so... and there go the rocks. So, Fire Punch from Jirachi and Rocky Helmet from Skarmory. So that's definitely going to wear down the Jirachi pretty quick.
Certainly a quick defog there.
Yeah.
I guess he wasn't fearing Fire Punch, even if he expected that to happen. Obviously, it's a Skarmory and it's a non-stab Fire Punch.
Yeah, he does get the 20% burn.
There it is.
So, I don't know if he should have Whirlwinded there. I think that's not really a bad matchup for Skarm. He could have kept hazards off the field, I feel. But I guess Aromatisse isn't that bad either, and it's just going to set up Wish Up. Probably just pass that right back to the Jirachi, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we see Roserade, which is, I guess that's probably the right play. And then, oh wow, see Houndoom.
Solid double.
Yeah, definitely. I guess he expected the Roserade switch, which definitely isn't bad for Aromatisse. I probably would have
certainly a good bait for the Roserade.
Yeah, definitely. Fire Blast dealing a lot to Sylveon and its high special defense. Yeah. That's probably especially defensive Sylveon now that I think about it, because of how powerful Houndoom is, though.
Yeah, if Houndoom can blast a Florges in the sun, then I'm amazed it can do that to the Sylveon too. Probably can do that to the Sylveon.
Yeah. Sylveon has a bit higher HP than Florges, but also
and
lower
better
special
move
defense. Pool. Yeah, it really is a superior version of Florges. But we see Jirachi, Skarmory again. I guess John's just fishing for the flinch at this point to get it into a range where Fire Punch will one-shot.
Yeah.
But and the lack of leftovers and the burn damage is really hurting Skarmory at this point.
This is definitely a key matchup, at least for Sam, because as long as he keeps Skarmory around, it does handle that Rachi.
Yeah. And because he has Rocky Helmet, Talonflame's not really going to want to Flare Blitz that thing.
Right.
But we do see the flinch. I mean, not that shocking. It is a Jirachi, so that's kind of what it's supposed to do.
There's a key Whirlwind right back into the matchup.
Yeah. And again, he's kind of just... it looks like he's just going to get this Skarmory down into a range where it will be taken down by the Fire Punch at this point. So
one more flinch.
And that's it.
Yes, there it is.
So Skarmory goes down. That's kind of a big deal because now he really does not have much to deal with the Azumarill if it manages to set up. I mean, he has Roserade, but after that, it's kind of looking grim for...
Or even if it just banded. Like, if it's just a banded Azumarill, an Aqua Jet, it's just going to
obviously,
blast.
He has nothing to deal with Excadrill either. But we see Rock Slide miss, so that's kind of a big deal. That Mega Pinsir definitely would have gone down had it not been for that miss. So Sam getting a bit of luck there, and we see Return hit the Aromatisse. Now, we don't know if this is Jolly or Adamant Mega Pinsir. If that was Adamant, return might take down especially defensive Aromatisse. I don't know. Yeah. I'm a fan of Adamant Mega Pinsir. I do like the power without having to set up. But
yeah, especially if you know the other team isn't keen to what outspeeds a Mega Pinsir.
And we see the natural gift Talonflame there just wreck the Rotom Heat. So our supposed Talonflame counter, not really a counter in that sense.
That's good awareness by John.
Yeah, and Sam doing a nice job by just making that Talonflame kind of kamikaze itself there by just forcing it to attack and not have a chance to roost. So Sam makes the switch to Pinsir, I guess just to get some chip damage on this Azumarill before the Aqua Jet. And Sharpedo, I don't know if Sharpedo... Oh, never mind, it's got Poison Jab. So, alright. And I don't know if Adamant Sharpedo outspeeds a timid Mega Houndoom.
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
He does go for Sucker Punch, so I guess he definitely thought he wouldn't get outsped, and Sharpedo just finishes off the game. So, definitely a crazy...
good match.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. That Talonflame was very unexpected.
I think if one player had made just one off play or one over prediction, that certainly would have, instead of being a 1-0 close battle, that would have been a landslide on one side or the other.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some hacks involved for both sides. Like, you saw the Jirachi take down that Skarm with Iron Head flinches. I mean, if it had just gotten one extra roost off, that wouldn't have happened. And then on the flip side, you also see Mega Pinsir get a key dodge there on that Rock Slide.
Yeah, but you know, it's Rachi doing what Rachi does.
Yeah, and it's Rock Slide. It's not 100% accurate, so it is going to miss sometimes, and that was just happened to be a very crucial miss.
Exactly.
But it happens. So I definitely think that was one of the better games we've seen this season, though. It definitely came down right to the end, and you know, that Poison Jab on his Sharpedo, definitely a wise choice considering the amount of fairies that John Origins does have on his team.
Yeah, who knew, you know, Sharpedo actually being effective coming from the owner of the Sharpedos.
Yeah, the owner who dropped his mascot after only one
season.
Listen,
that was a very unwise pickup, season 1.
Well, you know, sometimes you got to take a risk on the mascot love, and it just didn't pay off.
Yeah, he did, and it's funny though, because speaking with some people in the D-League and even in the GBA, you know, normal league, they didn't know that Sharpedo can learn Poison Jab.
Yeah, I didn't even know it learned Poison Jab till I saw it there.
Oh, I knew from beforehand just because I was just aware of it.
Yeah.
I know that it got coverage for its weaknesses.
I mean, it doesn't really make sense that it gets Poison Jab if you look at it.
Yeah, with its fins, it jab with those big, bulky fins.
But, you know, I guess it's Pokemon, so not everything's going to make sense. But what would you say is your MVP of the game for either side? Just like the best Pokemon in this match.
I'd either give it to Sharpedo, that's biased, but also Mega Pinsir because it did, even though it skillfully dodged that Rock Slide, but also I think it got clutch chip damage off on Azumarill because if he had switched in Sharpedo on the Azumarill, he can't really, I mean, yeah, he could have Poison Jabbed it, but, you know, he one-shot it, and it could have been a one-hit KO after the quick attack damage with the Poison Jab if Pinsir had gotten the damage off prior.
Yeah. I think I might have to go with Skarmory, simply because it did wear that Jirachi down to a point to where the rest of Sam's team could break through, because if he hadn't worn down that Jirachi, I don't know if a Crunch would have had enough to take down that Jirachi from Sharpedo. It really depends on whether or not he's Adamant or Jolly. And Skarm also got the Rocks up, which were very important with wearing down that Talonflame near the end there. If Rocks hadn't been up, Talonflame would have had enough HP to sweep through the rest of Sam's team.
That's
so
true.
Getting those Rocks up and that prior chip damage on the Rachi, I feel, was really valuable to Sam being able to pull off that Sharpedo at the end there.
we all know how you feel about Skarmory.
Yeah, I mean, Mega Pinsir too. I think Mega Pinsir's fantastic. I love Mega Pinsir. Like, I've used 4 of the 6 Pokemon Sam has on his team in the GBA.
Yes, you have.
So I've used Roserade, Rotom Heat, Skarmory, and Mega Pinsir, and they all have very, very good uses in this format. But I just think Skarmory overall did the most to get Sam that victory. But yeah, next week we will be picking the best game of the lot, so we don't know what game that will be yet. But we're going to be picking the most competitive matches from now on because we got everybody featured. And, you know, you guys will get to see some very solid games. So any closing thoughts from you, Tom?
I definitely like how the D-League has been panning out. Some of these battles have been very interesting to watch, and it's certainly nice to have like a look from the outside in, because I mean during the regular season we're in their shoes where we're all worried about, you know, matchups and what pokes we should bring and what movesets, but it's funny as a coach, you know, looking from the GBA to the GBA D-League, how they're doing what we do, but it's interesting to look at it as a spectator rather than a competitor.
Yeah, it is definitely. So yeah, I agree with that completely, actually. It's definitely nice to be able to watch the games and not have any vested interest in them for a change. So, but yeah, both of us want to thank all of you for watching. The support helps the D-League and the regular GBA be what they are and be the success they have become. So thank all of you for watching, and we'll see you guys later.
See you guys later.